Wild Thing Rick Vaughn, a true flamethrower and badass motherfucker. A juvenile delinquent looking to make his way in the major leagues. The Indians took a shot on this man hoping that he'd be productive. Little did they know they had discovered a hidden gem flamethrower. Rick struggled in his early years and they had a difficulty finding whether he was a closer or a starting pitcher. There were no secrets to what was wrong with Rick's game. He was wild, he hit a lot of batters, and he gave up the long ball quite often. We all know this part of the story. Rick went on to help the Indians reach the World Series in his second season after defeating the Chicago White Sox. However, they would fall to the Dodgers in 6 games. That brings us up to our current point. So what happened to Rick Vaughn after Major League 2? Well, for starters, the Indians decided to make him a full-time starting pitcher that off-season. Rick had gotten into his old habits though again and became a troublemaker. That off-season he got arrested for a bar fight along with a DUI. This led to the Indians suspending him for the season. Although he wasn't allowed to be with the team all season long, he worked out. Wild Thing had become a deadly pitcher who was very aggressive and threw very hard. He worked on his control as well as many other pitches that he called the Eliminator, the Terminator. We all know the story. He came back with a vengeance and told the Indians he'd like to be a starter in the 2023 season. Rick would go on to dominate that season, proving to the Indians that he was worthy of keeping, leading the league in strikeouts and wins. He would go on to win MVP along with the Cy Young Award. Rick would go on to have several dominant seasons after this, winning another Cy Young the following season and making the Allstar game for the second time. After 2 more dominant seasons following that, Wild Thing would receive a 6-figure deal from the Indians. After a few early playoff exits, the Indians had made a playoff push in the 2028 season. Rick would also dominate by winning his 3rd Cy Young Award. The Indians went on to play the Pittsburgh Pirates in the World Series that season. Rick started 2 games and pitched 2 shutouts in both of his games started. He would go on to win World Series MVP along with getting the final strikeout of the World Series, this being in a no-hit performance. All was great for the Indians as they finally ended the drought that had been terrorizing their organization forever now. This is where our happy story comes to an end now. News had broke that Rick, Wild Thing Vaughn, had been killed that night in a car accident celebrating the World Series victory. It was a depressing and bitter end for Wild Thing Rick Vaughn. He had just gotten his life together and was away from crime. Although this is a sad story, Rick will never be forgotten. He dominated the league by leading in strikeouts in 6 seasons, along with winning 3 Cy Youngs, 1 MVP, and 1 World Series MVP. He would also win 1 Gold Glove Award his final season. Although Rick had never peaked his full potential and many thought he would be the greatest of all time, he still will never be forgotten for what he had accomplished on the field. We don't know how many strikeouts he would have ended up with, we don't know what his career ERA would have ended up being. What we do know is that Rick Vaughn was a dominant pitcher in his time in the league. This led to huge debates on whether or not Rick Vaughn would be a Hall of Famer. Regardless of that though, Wild Thing had made our hearts sing. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. This one was fun for me to make. I just wanted to create a little different story, make it a little different. And also, in the real Major League movies, we never did actually find out what happened to Rick Vaughn and the crew, so I was thinking it'd be fun to put my own little twist on it, see what happens with Rick Vaughn. But that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I am the Sunny D, and I'll be signing out. Peace. Also, don't forget to comment down below, Hall of Famer or not a Hall of Famer. I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below.